Okay, so for this one is probably more an advanced way of doing it. We're basically just going to dig into it and destroy the nest. If you really want it gone now, and it's someplace where you can actually dig into it rather than like in the wall of your house or in a rock retaining wall or something that you can't get into, this is an option if you're up for it. Really need to think about your gear. Tape things up. I'm going to be doing duct tape around here, around my gloves. Going to make sure my outer thing is cinched down really tight. Make sure my veil's all tucked in well, because doing this, they're going to know, hey, we're the attacker, we're the bad guys. So we're probably going to get a lot more attention as we're digging into it, rather than some of the other methods. It's a little more confusing for them. A bull's on there and they're trying to get in, and you can step away from it, and their focus is on how do we get back in. It's not some outside entity that's attacking the nest. So gear is a lot more important, and also think about escape routes. If you find some are getting in somewhere into your gear and you're getting stung, you're going to want to be able to get out of there safely. You don't want to be tripping over the wood pile that they're in the middle of, try and make an escape route around. Or here we've got a fence behind us, we need to be aware of that. We've got a pallet in the way near it, so we're going to pull that out of the way so we can have an in and out path here in case we need to retreat. So essentially, I think we'll start off by probably taking some more of these wood chips or dirt or sand or something, and start off by piling some on top of the hole. And then from there, we're going to use shovel, digging tools, pry bar, whatever you want to call it, and start digging in there around the entrance, trying to find where that cavity is underground, under all this stuff. Once we find that, just start chopping it up. Probably throw some water in there as well, so that the idea is destroy their home so they really can't recover. It's probably going to kill some of them in the nest, probably kill all the brood, and then we're basically collapsing all the dirt in on them. Going to flood them with, throw some water in too, pile some more dirt on top of it, basically just chew up their home so that they've got nothing to rebuild from. So that's about the idea of it. I think that's some mud there.
And I'm going to look for other places where they go in and out.
So we're not trying to drown them here, just trying to kind of knock them back a little bit before we work. Oh yeah, that sounds like. Kind of sounds like paper nest under there.
Want to pull some chips out of the way? Not yet.
Yeah. Oh, let's soak them a little bit, and then pull some of that out of the way.
I think this would be a really good nesting material because they can dig in it, sure, but it wouldn't keep the water out.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're coming out right there. Yeah. Right there. They're starting to go stinging at me now. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I can hear a bunch of them on my head wanting to get at me.
They went deep.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
there it is.
That's it.
Okay, hold that.
Some paper
Oh,
nests there. Some
babies.
capped brood.
Yeah.
There's some sort of larva that was probably capped. So what do you think?
I think it's good.
Me too. All right. So these ones that are out flying are probably going to starve fairly soon, or just have some exposure without a nest to come back to.
And one out in the corner is not gonna.
Hi there, my name's Robert Leger. I'm a civil engineer as a profession, but also a beekeeper and yellow jacket hunter. And that all started about 2004. I met my wife back then, and found first summer that she had a couple yellow jacket nests on her property and terrified by yellow jackets. So I did a bunch of research online, looking up, how can I get rid of them? Do I have to spray them? Do I have to call an exterminator? Are there safe options? Because we're also into organic gardening and things like that, and don't like the idea of a lot of chemicals or chemical products on the property. So started looking for different solutions, and that first year took on a couple of ground nests at the house. I found some poison-free sprays and used that in a combination of just kind of disrupting their life cycle. Sprayed them, tried to plug them a little bit, spray them again if saw more activity later, and took care of those that year. But then also started researching more and more about them because they always seemed to be a problem, and I wanted to, trap the best so that they're not such an issue and we could have an enjoyable summer out, having dinner in the backyard and not being pestered by yellow jackets like you get this time of year in August and September. So that led me to research and learn more about the life cycle of the yellow jacket, and that led me to learn about if you trap queens in the early spring while they're out trying to get their nest going, trap the queen, that nest isn't going to be there. So this time of year, I like to think of it as every queen I can catch in the spring means definitely for sure one nest that isn't going to be raised. So it's kind of nice to have a dozen or 2 dozen queens in your trap at the end of May. So then we went along, and about 4 years ago we started, we got our first bees in 2014, caught a swarm. Well, a friend taught me how to catch a swarm, and we've had bees ever since. And been trapping queens diligently for years, and a lot of years it was great. Late summer we might see half dozen yellow jackets in a month. In good years when I was able to catch a lot of queens in the spring. But I found the last few years with having honeybee hives at the house, that's just a source that they can't resist. And even though I'm trapping a lot of queens in the spring, they're still finding our bees. So still believe in the spring trapping. I think it helps a lot. But it's also shown me that as beekeepers, it's a difficult battle. We're going to be fighting them. So doing the bees, and then shortly after there was the Honeybee Ally Swarm List, which is a great system. You can also get on there and say you can help people with yellow jackets and wasps. So when we signed up for that, for swarms, I signed up also to say, yeah, I can help people with yellow jackets. And so from that, just helping out neighbors and other folks with getting rid of yellow jackets. And so I'll meet with people, see what they've got, try to assess the situation and determine, how can we attack this? And out of what's available, what would they like to do, being their property? Are they okay with poisons? We could do that. It can be very quick and effective. Or do they want to go poison-free? You could do poison-free sprays or poison-free, like glass bowl methods or trapping methods, and just work with people and see what they want and need. And doing that, I've also, as an engineer, part of my philosophy is, it's an apprenticeship program. So I see part of what I do is teaching the younger engineers, and I want them to teach the next generation. So I like to share information. I want people to know as much as they can about these things. So I've done presentations for bee groups about trapping and nest destruction options, and also like to make those PowerPoint presentations such that there's a lot of information in them, and I just give them out to people as PDFs. So if you can't make it, or if you want to brush up on something, hopefully there's a lot of information in there that'll help other people with any yellow jacket problems they've got. So I think that I also like to talk about the beneficial other wasps, like the umbrella wasps and things like that. I like to try and also make it easy for people to identify yellow jackets, because there are a lot of other good insects out there that look like yellow jackets but maybe aren't. And if they're not a problem for you, I always encourage people to leave them be if they can. And if they've got a little umbrella paper wasp nest under their eaves, they're doing great things, and it's not going to grow into a big colony with 2,000 of them like yellow jackets. So try to encourage that, and help people get rid of their yellow jackets. So, thanks.